A silent force is shaping your financial future every single day, and most people never notice it. It does not care how many hours you work. It does not care where you were born. It does not even care about the opportunities placed in front of you. Yet it quietly influences the decisions you make, the risks you avoid, the chances you miss, and the results you get. For years, millions of people have searched for the secret to wealth in the wrong places. They look for better jobs, better connections, better timing, and better luck. While those things can matter, there is another factor hiding beneath the surface, one that financial experts, successful entrepreneurs, and psychologists have spent decades studying. The truth is that before wealth appears in a bank account, it often begins as a pattern inside the mind. The way a person thinks about money affects the choices they make every day, and those choices slowly build their future. What makes this so fascinating is that many people are running mental programs they never chose for themselves. Ideas about money, success, and wealth are often picked up during childhood and repeated for years without question. Over time, those beliefs become habits, and those habits become results. What if the biggest reason you're not wealthy isn't your job, isn't your education, and isn't your luck? What if the real obstacle is hidden inside your own thinking? Every financial result in your life started as a thought long before it became a reality. Every purchase, every investment, every opportunity, accepted or rejected, began with a decision, and every decision was influenced by a belief. This is where things become interesting. Research in psychology has shown that the human brain constantly searches for evidence to support what it already believes. If someone believes success is impossible, the brain notices obstacles. If someone believes opportunities exist, the brain becomes more likely to recognize them. Two people can walk through the same world and see completely different possibilities simply because their minds are focused on different things. That hidden process affects careers, businesses, investments, relationships, and financial growth in ways most people never realize. Throughout history, some of the world's most successful people understood this principle long before modern science began explaining it. They trained their minds with purpose. They learned how to control their focus. They learned how to replace limiting beliefs. They learned how to think beyond their current circumstances. Many people see wealth as a result of money alone, but wealth often starts much earlier than that. It begins with perspective. It begins with identity. It begins with the way a person interprets challenges and opportunities. One lesser known fact is that the brain contains a filtering system that helps determine what information receives attention and what gets ignored. Every second, countless pieces of information compete for your attention, yet only a small fraction reaches your conscious awareness. That means your mind is constantly deciding what matters and what does not. If that filter is trained to focus on fear, doubt, and limitations, opportunities can pass by unnoticed. If it is trained to focus on growth, learning, and possibility, entirely different outcomes can emerge over time. In this video, you will discover how wealthy people train their minds differently from the average person, not through magic, not through wishful thinking, not through manifestation alone. You will learn how beliefs influence behavior, how self-image shapes financial decisions, how focus affects opportunities, and how daily mental conditioning can slowly transform the direction of your life. You will also uncover common mental traps that keep people stuck in the same financial position year after year without understanding why. Some of these patterns are so deeply rooted that people mistake them for facts when they are actually beliefs. By understanding these hidden forces, you can begin to take control of them instead of being controlled by them. As this video unfolds, you'll discover why some people remain trapped in cycles of struggle even when opportunities are available, while others find ways to move forward despite difficult circumstances. You'll learn how your thoughts influence your actions, how your actions influence your habits, and how your habits influence your results. Most importantly, you'll learn practical ways to start changing that process. The final lessons in this video may completely change the way you think about wealth because they reveal the critical link between mindset and action, a link that many people overlook. Without that connection, even the strongest motivation fades. With it, small changes can create powerful long-term results. So stay with us until the very end because each part of this journey builds on the one before it. Missing one piece can make the bigger picture harder to understand. By the end, you'll see why wealth is not only about earning more money, it is also about building a mindset that naturally moves toward growth, opportunity, value creation, and long-term success. The ideas you're about to hear have influenced entrepreneurs, investors, business leaders, and ordinary people who transformed their financial futures by first changing the way they think. Welcome to our channel, where we explore powerful ideas that can help you grow, improve, and unlock your potential. If you're ready to discover how to train your mind to attract unlimited wealth, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us for this fascinating journey. Let's begin. Long before money reaches your bank account, it passes through your mind. Most people spend years trying to change their financial situation without ever examining the invisible system that controls many of their decisions. Every person has what can be called a financial blueprint. It is a collection of beliefs, assumptions, attitudes, and emotional reactions connected to money. This blueprint operates quietly in the background, influencing choices day after day. Many people never notice it because it feels normal. It feels like reality. Yet two people can face the same opportunity and respond in completely different ways because they are operating from different financial blueprints. The surprising part is that much of this blueprint was formed years ago. During childhood, people absorb ideas about money from parents, relatives, teachers, friends, and society. A child who constantly hears that money is difficult to earn may carry that belief into adulthood. A child who grows up hearing arguments about bills and debt may begin to associate money with stress and anxiety. Another child may grow up around people who discuss investments, business ideas, and opportunities. Without realizing it, each person develops a different relationship with money. As the years pass, these early beliefs become deeply rooted. They begin influencing decisions automatically. A person may avoid starting a business because failure feels dangerous. Another may avoid investing because risk feels frightening. Someone else may refuse to ask for a higher salary because they secretly believe they do not deserve it. In many cases, these decisions seem logical on the surface, but beneath them lies an old belief that has never been questioned. This is where the subconscious mind plays a powerful role. The subconscious mind operates below conscious awareness. It stores patterns, habits, and beliefs that guide behavior. Scientists estimate that much of our daily behavior is influenced by automatic mental processes. That means many financial decisions are not made through careful analysis alone. They are often influenced by emotional patterns developed years earlier. A person who believes money always disappears may unconsciously spend it quickly. A person who believes success brings criticism may avoid standing out. A person who believes wealthy people are dishonest may resist becoming wealthy because doing so would conflict with their identity. The subconscious mind always seeks consistency between beliefs and actions. Even when someone consciously wants financial success, their subconscious beliefs may quietly pull them in the opposite direction. This creates an invisible conflict. One part of the mind wants growth. Another part wants familiarity. Growth requires change. Familiarity prefers safety. As a result, people often repeat the same financial patterns again and again. Different year, different circumstances, same outcome. Many people think wealth begins with earning more money. In reality, wealth often begins with changing internal programming. Before behavior changes, thinking must change. Before results change, identity must change. A person who constantly sees themselves as financially limited will struggle to make decisions that lead toward abundance. The mind always tries to stay aligned with identity. That is why one of the most important truths about wealth can be expressed in a simple sentence. You cannot create a wealthy life with a poor financial identity. Think about that carefully. If someone sees themselves as unlucky, they may avoid opportunities. If someone sees themselves as incapable, they may never develop valuable skills. If someone sees themselves as powerless, they may never take control of their financial future. Identity influences action. Action influences results. Results reinforce identity. The cycle continues until a person consciously interrupts it. This process explains why some people experience major financial improvements after changing their mindset. The change is not magical, it is psychological. A new identity creates new choices. New choices create new habits. New habits create new outcomes. The mind acts like a blueprint because every structure is built according to a design. If the design contains flaws, the final result reflects those flaws. Financial success works the same way. When the mental blueprint changes, behavior begins changing as well. So if wealth begins in the mind, the next question becomes incredibly important. What exactly are you telling yourself every day? Many people underestimate the power of their inner dialogue. The words spoken inside the mind shape perception, expectation, and behavior. A person who repeatedly thinks money is hard to make starts viewing opportunities through that lens. Challenges appear larger. Risks seem more dangerous. Success feels more distant. One of the most common beliefs keeping people financially stuck is the idea that money is extremely difficult to earn. Of course, earning money requires effort, skill, and persistence. But when someone believes money is almost impossible to obtain, they stop looking for possibilities. Their focus shifts entirely toward obstacles. Another common belief is that rich people are greedy. This idea appears frequently in conversations, movies, and social narratives. When a person associates wealth with negative qualities, a hidden conflict develops. Consciously, they may want financial success. Subconsciously, they may reject it because they do not want to become the type of person they imagine wealthy individuals to be. There is also the belief that success belongs only to lucky people. This belief can be especially damaging because it removes personal responsibility. If success is purely luck, effort seems less meaningful. Learning seems less important. Growth appears unnecessary. People begin waiting for circumstances to change rather than improving themselves. Another dangerous belief sounds simple but affects countless lives. I am not good enough. Those four words have stopped more dreams than most people realize. They prevent people from starting businesses, applying for better jobs, learning new skills, building networks, and taking risks. When someone doubts their own worth, they often limit themselves long before the outside world has a chance to limit them. Then there is the belief that wealth is meant for other people. Some individuals grow up believing financial success belongs to a different group, a different background, a different family, or a different social class. This belief quietly creates distance between the person and their goals. Instead of seeing wealth as achievable, they view it as something reserved for others. The problem with beliefs is that they rarely stay inside the mind. Beliefs become expectations. Expectations influence behavior. Behavior creates results. A person who expects failure approaches opportunities differently than someone who expects growth. A person who expects rejection communicates differently than someone who expects success. Expectations affect confidence, persistence, preparation, and resilience. Over time, those differences accumulate. Small decisions repeated daily produce significant long-term outcomes. What begins as a belief eventually becomes a reality because behavior aligns with expectation. One of the most fascinating aspects of human psychology is that the brain constantly searches for evidence supporting existing beliefs. It notices information that confirms what it already expects. It pays attention to experiences that reinforce familiar patterns. That is why this statement is so powerful. Your brain always tries to prove your beliefs right. If you believe opportunities are rare, your brain highlights limitations. If you believe growth is possible, your brain notices possibilities. If you believe success belongs to others, your brain searches for reasons why you cannot achieve it. If you believe improvement is possible, your brain begins looking for pathways forward. This process happens quietly and continuously. Most people never notice it. They assume they are seeing reality objectively when, in fact, their beliefs are influencing what they pay attention to every day. Fortunately, beliefs are not permanent. They can be challenged, they can be replaced, they can be upgraded. The first step is awareness. You cannot change a program you do not recognize. Once you identify the old program, you can finally replace it. Unlimited wealth does not begin in your bank account. It begins in your mind. Long before success becomes visible to the world, it starts as a belief, a decision, and a new way of thinking. The people who transform their financial lives are not always the smartest, the luckiest, or the most connected. More often, they are the ones who learn to think differently, act differently, and stay committed when others give up. They understand that wealth is not created in a single day. It is built through thousands of small decisions that compound over time. Today, you've seen how your beliefs shape your reality, how your identity influences your actions, how your focus determines what opportunities you notice, and how your habits quietly build your future. Every financial result you experience tomorrow is connected to the thoughts, choices, and actions you take today. That is why real change begins from the inside out. When you change your beliefs, you change your expectations. When you change your expectations, you change your behavior. And when your behavior changes consistently, your results eventually follow. The most powerful lesson in this entire journey is that your past does not have to control your future. The programming you received years ago is not a life sentence. Old beliefs can be replaced, new habits can be built, new opportunities can be created. Every successful person was once a beginner. Every wealthy person once had less than they wanted. The difference is that they decided to move forward instead of remaining trapped by old limitations. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is taking the first step toward a completely different future. Someone is learning a new skill. Someone is starting a business. Someone is making their first investment. Someone is changing the beliefs that held them back for years. The question is not whether wealth is possible. The question is whether you are willing to become the person capable of creating it. Years from now, you may look back on this moment and realize that the biggest change was not in your income, your career, or your bank account. The biggest change was in the way you thought about yourself and your potential. Because the moment you stop seeing limits everywhere, you begin seeing possibilities everywhere. And that is often where extraordinary success begins. So as this video comes to an end, take a moment and ask yourself one simple question. What is the next belief you are going to choose? Because the process starts today, not next week, not next month, not someday. It starts with the next thought you choose to believe and the next action you choose to take. If you enjoyed this video and found value in it, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join our growing community. Give this video a like to support the channel and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. Your support helps us create more powerful content designed to help you grow, improve, and unlock your full potential. Thank you for watching, and remember, the journey toward unlimited wealth starts in the mind. We'll see you in the next video.